can notice that the lower parts are brighter and the upper part darker. So this is a backlighting problem, and we are going to fix that anyway. So that's the back, and it is open. Now let me first disconnect it from power and then proceed. So I've disconnected it from power, and then now I'm going to proceed with it. But first I'm going to disconnect this entire system, and first disconnect the fiber that goes into the LCD, and then I think what else will I have to disconnect? That one there, that comes out, and then this, such that I can pick off this frame off of it. Oh, there's that part that goes into the backlight, and I'll have to disconnect that too. Okay, that's out, and then we remain with our TV right there. So now that we are here, next thing is to pry apart to remove the panel. So I've unscrewed that screw and that screw, and this goes off to expose the LCD. Now I need to pick that out, and then this should go away. Now that's that. I need this also out of the way. Okay, now what have we got here? Anyway, let me come back. Now you see as I pry, it is to open like that. Now I'm going to go all the way down this side until I finish. So you see these locks, they slide out, and we have one right there. I cannot hold it closer. Let me see where I did that one there. It slides out like that, releasing that, and just like that, this frame is off. So the TV is here, and now I need to access the panel. Okay, let me flip it off. Okay, here I need to release it from here. Okay, and that's that. So I suppose I'm going to lift out the panel. So the panel is here off, and then we remain with this. So I'm going to pick out these diffusion layers and put them up there, and then finally I reach the backlights. So we're going to pick out the backlights and change them. So I'm going to take this out and pick one of the lights. Okay, so which one feels at home? So I'm going to pick this and then go look for that. Lighting LED strips to replace those three, and I'm going to just do that and proceed with. So these are the three that are going to replace those three. Now each strip here has 8 LEDs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the ones that are there also have 8. Unfortunately, it wasn't a perfect match, and this is the closest I could get, so I'll have to modify this because they are not exactly in the identical places as what would have been. Now imagine here, when I align them, you can see that that is a bit off, and also on this side, and then the spacing is not like how this was done. This one, the spacing between this and that up to there were equal, and this was wider. Now for this one, it's the opposite. The space between this and that is even, but then the last are farther apart. So anyway, each of us is going to replace the other. So thank you. I'll show you when I'm done. So that would mean that even here I'm going to have to find a way of looping these wires to work with this. This is how it's looking like after putting the strips, and you'll notice that since the connectors, the sockets were in and not at the end as the original strips, I've had to loop from there up to the connections of the original strips, cutting off the connectors and joining the wires, positive which was white to red which is my net positive there. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to bring the reflective layer and put it there, but if you notice the lights are a bit skewed, so I need to cut so that they pop through, trim so that they pop through. It's cutting through, and now I'm going to try to connect the power supply board and see if I can get power. Sorry, I meant backlight. So I'm going to plug it in and then see if I will get backlight. And this is its connector. I'm going to plug it into the socket and see what comes out of it. I expect light. Okay, clearly they're there, shining, all the rows. That's interesting. But yeah, that's it. So we are going to assemble it and get it back together. So I have put back the diffusion layer, and then now I'm going to bring the panel over it. I've decided to first bring this frame for the panel and then bring the panel later on. Now the frame is up, I can now bring the panel. So I have placed the panel, and then now I can bring the front frame into play, and I've brought it so it should snap in place nicely. Power TV, Toshiba. And then I'm going to turn it upside down. So we are upside down. Then I need to bring in these locks for this. They were here, right there. Okay, I have 3 of them, I think. So this lock works this way. I place it down and push it forward, and it should lock in place. Now I'm going to do the other extreme end too, just for uniformity. Now I'll put it down and place it there. So since I'm remaining with only one more, I'm going to put it at the center. Okay, what was it like? This way. I place it down. Yeah, I place it down, and then I push it forward. Seems to be in disagreement. So it turns out I wasn't exerting enough push. Now let me attempt it again. Okay, that's interesting. And we can now go on to bring the rest and connect and see what we have. First I'll plug this into its connector. Right there. Next bring this plate into place. Push it a bit forward. And I'm going to put a screw here, and there. So I put my screws, and now I bring my power board and motherboard into place. I'm going to have to plug it in. So I have connected the most, and now I'm remaining with that. And that goes to the LCD. This is just for the speaker, and it comes into that board. Then this goes in there, right there. Okay, so I've had to flip it this way to connect the last wire for the speaker, but otherwise this is how it's looking. Now let me close it and check it out. Okay, so that's how it is looking like. Let me bring the screws. Lastly, I put the stand and we stand it up and make it power. Okay, we stand it up. And it's up, so we'll plug it into power. See, okay, the backlights come on. Next I should expect a picture. HDMI 1. Yeah, so we are good to go, and that's it for today. We maybe want to turn on the TV and see what comes up. That's it showing, and I'm projecting my screen, laptop screen, onto it. Thank you. Hit the subscribe button and share.